Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Shift into Purpose Challenge. And the good thing about the challenge is this is between you and you. I was asked so many questions in the last 24 hours. Why can't we put comments out? Accountability. My fault, y'all. I clicked the button I have no business clicking. Took me all morning to unclick it. You know what? Technology is a beautiful thing when it works. It's a beautiful thing when it doesn't work, but it's even more beautiful when it does work. So you should be able to go ahead and comment. But before you do any of that, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And go on over to the Purpose Refined by Fire page over on Facebook and make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to that one as well. We're trying our best to get to 100 followers. And if we get to 100 followers, then we will be able to stream on that platform as well. Um, the good folks on Facebook are not being very kind as it relates to this. So, for those who have not joined us this week, you weren't here on yesterday, you missed a great session. When I tell you that all of this is coming together just so perfectly and beautifully, I can't tell you how well it's coming together. But let me just go ahead for a recap and let you know that for those who were not with us, we went through last week going through the acronym for SHIFT, which stands for sitting with yourself and Jesus, getting that space, that time where you can be by yourself and your thoughts and your issues. Make it a priority to work on you. Hearing the voice of the Father, making sure that you're not just listening to yourself, because listening to yourself is what got you in this position to start with. So, what we need you to do is we need you to listen to a higher authority. Listen to the person who actually puts you together and can get you a roadmap to get you either back on track or get you to that next level. We then talked about investing in your purpose. I truly believe that everyone has a purpose or multiple purposes. And regardless of where you are with that, some of these things you put down as a child and you said, I'll never do that. And I was looking at a story about a man who literally brutalized his son, beat into his head that he would never amount to anything. He would never fulfill anything. He would never complete anything. And of course, the young man was so stubborn, he proved the father wrong. But it broke my heart because I would love to say that's a fairy tale, but it's not. Many of you who will watch this know good and well what happened was the fact that you gave up on your purpose. You were on fire for it once, but you then let it die, or so you thought. Because what you don't know is everything can be brought back from the dead. And I'm almost imagining the ambulance coming and the paddles clear and your purpose literally being resurrected so that you can begin to invest in it and go. The next night, we talked about forgiving offenses. You're not going anywhere until you learn how to forgive. Unforgiveness is that thing that causes you to be turned over to the tormentor. And for many, you haven't had a good night's sleep in so long because your mind is constantly being tormented by bills, tormented by children, tormented by parents, tormented by friends, tormented by uncompleted tasks, tormented by all of the things that people say about you, tormented by the comments inside your social media, tormented by not being where you're supposed to be, tormented by not having the friends you want to have. Tormented, 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 tormented. That comes with unforgiveness. So, what I need you to do is learn to forgive. And lastly, we talked about taking accountability. For me, this is a work in progress. This is where I have to begin to say to me, you did it, You're responsible for it. Now take it to the next level. Nobody else. You. You missed the deadline. You overspent. You're the one who booked it wrong. You're the one who said it wrong. You're the one who saw it wrong. Don't blame anybody else. Look at yourself. And that is so true. That is so true. But let me just go ahead and tell you, for further ado, this man right here, Darius J came in yesterday with his calm demeanor and deep insight. He about had me in tears, about had me ready to fight, about ready, had me in all sorts of things. Why? Because his view of the world is, let me just accept you for who you are, where you are, what you are. And we're going to start from there. That is Jesus. Plain and simple. That is Jesus. So when we start talking about a man who is going to come to this stage, and we're going to deal with day number 2 of shifting your character, specifically looking at kingdom beliefs tonight. And I've got something for him that he ain't ready for. Here's his curveball for the night. Is the church the same thing as the kingdom of God? And do we believe in the church or do we believe in the kingdom? Just so you know, no, he didn't know this was coming. If y'all got questions, by all means, I need you to go ahead and put those things the in the chat. We want to hear from you. We want to see what you got to say. But without further ado, let me just go ahead and bring Darius J up to the stage. My brother, how are you? What's going on?
What's up? What's up? Oh man, that question that's wild. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't expecting that. Now I gotta reframe my thought process now. I got to
Why? It's a
I
simple
mean,
question.
sometimes you have, you know what I'm saying, your ideas of how, things may go, but you know what I'm saying, like you said, that's a curveball. I appreciate those, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate those.
It's a simple question.
It
And I'm
ain't
gonna
that
tell you, I'm gonna
simple.
tell you where it came from. I'm gonna tell you where it came from. So you're not too mad. As I was thinking about last night, and I said to myself, for those brothers who have not developed a relationship with God,
Mm.
they out there trying to do the best they know how to do for themselves. Why? And the thing that came to me, and we hit on this a little bit yesterday, is because the church let them down.
Yeah.
Because dogmatic, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to jump through this hoop, you got to jump through that hoop. And as we talked about last night,
Mm-hmm.
that, while being great for the church, is horrible for those who are in the church.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! Woohoo! That means that the comments are working. I'm loving it.
Yeah, we in here. We got people in here now. You can see what
Come
they talking
on. Come on with it. Come
about.
on.
That's another one in the men's department right there on Monty Don. What's up, boy?
Yeah. I and I'm gonna put this out there. And I don't know whether we can pull it off in such short notice, but wouldn't it be amazing if we had the entire men's department on Friday?
Hey, what say you, good fellows out there?
I don't know if it's possible, but if it is, Friday we're talking about rebuilding the broken walls of our lives. And
Mm,
I want all of y'all on here.
okay, we'll try to work something out. You know what I'm
I
saying?
want all of y'all here because I think that that's going to be one of those conversations that, without question, this is going to be just fire. But
Yeah.
I digress. I digress. So yeah, if you hadn't noticed, I'm just a little excited right now. This I'm just a little excited.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's Jay. Let me again. I'm gonna start with easy questions. I'm
Okay.
I'm, I'm
I'm still got that big question in the back of my head because I'm just like, well, how am I frame this?
oh,
Because
I
it
need your
ain't
big
simple.
guns tonight.
Yeah,
I need
man.
your big guns tonight. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the easy question, and that is, as we're talking about shifting your character, there's
Mm,
this interplay between a man's character and a man's actions, a man's character and a man's beliefs,
mm-hmm.
a man's character and a man's words.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us.
I mean, I'm gonna go to the scripture with that. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Let your life and doctrine be the same. You know what I'm saying? And if you walking it, if you talking it, you better show be walking it. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing of it is like, how can I say you got good character if you don't do what you say? How can you make your yeses be yeses and your no's be no's if you backslide on all of it? You know what I'm saying? Like your word means something if you send it out into the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? It could either bring back great blessing or it could bring calamity. You know what I'm saying? It's we gonna be accounted for every idle word we spoke. You know what I'm saying? So as men, we shouldn't get to the place where we talk idly. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing of it is, if you just run your mouth, my granddaddy said this all the time. He said, "Man, you run your mouth long enough, you'll find your foot in it." You know what I'm saying?
Your granddaddy
Because
was wise.
you know what I'm saying. So I'm a firm believer. But hey, I just tell my nephew this all the time. Hey, man, learn how to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like you like to talk
Mhm.
a lot, but you'll bring yourself in a dangerous trap if you keep running your mouth and not observing, not be willing to listen. I say because you know, as we all heard, you know, say you got two ears for a reason. So we have to be active listeners and slow to speak. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's it's a challenge, but like I tell people, if you live life long enough, it gonna deal the lessons. Now, if you know, total hard head, you know what I'm saying, you will get a soft tail. You feel me?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because God gonna always keep circling you around that mountain. You're gonna wonder why, like, oh man, why I keep talking myself into this situation? Because you ain't thinking about it. Have you prayed about it? Have you sat before God? I ain't take it back. I'm not gonna assume everybody, you know what I'm saying, on this kingdom path. Let me dial it back. Do you have a plan of action for the things that you speak? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Um,
Right.
or you just talking to try to garner favor in the light of people around you? You know what I'm saying? Because that's right there, that shows a character flaw and that shows that you're not secure with yourself if you're just trying to put on a show in front of people. You know what I'm saying? You have to be stable in yourself to know that hey, it's not always time for you to speak. Walk in, observe, take time. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself a breath. You know what I'm saying? Before you just go in and run in your mouth. You don't know. You might have walked into a dangerous situation where the next person to speak get killed.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Special shout out to a leader from the City of Life Ministries under Pastor G, Pastor
Yeah.
Eugene Smith. Um, she was so excited to help us with the shift. She has made reels. She has posted to uh, her viewers on her Instagram and her Facebook and her every other platform that she has. And I'm just so blessed to be in relationship with her because I tell you what, sometimes you don't know what you don't know.
Right, right, right.
And I appreciate partners that come alongside and help us with the heavy lifting. Shout out to my cousin Kanitra, wherever you may be, because I'm sure that you're lurking somewhere, because I know you
Mm-hmm.
are, because that's just you. Appreciate you as well. But anyways, back to the subject at hand. Here's what gets me. Here's what gets me.
Mm.
When we start talking about kingdom beliefs, men often are confused because their roles are defined by other people. They're not defined by them. Their
Mm.
wish list is defined by them, but their beliefs are handed to them
Mm.
by uncles, by their bros, by their wives, by their girlfriends. You need to be this kind of man. You need to believe this. You need to walk this way. You need to uphold this.
Mm. Oh man.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
So
Come
man,
on.
these things are all right. I'm good with it. All right. So a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, else in society, we lack guidance. You know what I'm saying? We lack guidance. I say a lot of men, I myself has been one of those boys that lacked guidance. And I was taking advice from anywhere I can get it. You know what I'm saying? Because just like one thing I say for myself is just like survival of the fittest was a real thing. You know what I'm saying? And some of the advice that you get from people is really to help you survive. So I'm not mad at a man for taking on a persona that helps him to get through his current situation, especially if it's an especially egregious situation where it's a really life or death. But as we grow when we get older, the things that we pick up, we got to learn that a lot of that was just for self-preservation. It's not meant to bring life to anybody, not even yourself. It was just allow your body to exist in a space that you hopefully had hope to get out of. And these lists and these things that men may have taught you, uncle might have taught you, go chase these girls, uh, uh, get money. You know what I'm saying? That was the saying in the 90s, get money. You know what I'm saying? Um, those things without purpose is nothing. Like if you don't have a goal, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's one thing I used to tell my nephews a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, hey man, chase your goals, chase your purpose, you know what I'm saying? But do not chase another human being. You know what I'm saying? Because God gonna place the people around you that He wants to have around you. You know what I'm saying? Um, a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, with this walk on this earth, you know what I'm saying, we get some good lessons from people that are broken, but a lot of times most people gonna be teaching you out of a broken place, especially when you see that they don't have a healthy dynamic or a situation in their lives in order to cater a real true thought of what a man is. Because it's like I tell people, I look at my life like a kaleidoscope. I said my life had a lot of beautiful pieces, and if you turn it, it's beautiful. But the thing of it is, you have to realize that it's not a full bro. It's not a full picture. It shatters and just come together. And I look at the beauty of it is that's what God brought together for me. The reason why I look beautiful because of God, His grace, His mercies, allowing me to continue my walk and learning how to take some advice that might be bad and eat the meat and leave the bones. You know what
That's
I'm
right.
saying? Because a lot of times it's just like not all advice is bad. It's just you might not can't digest what it is. And I say for a lot of men, we have to learn how to not buy into everything everybody say to you or say about you. because it's sometimes it's just not true and it don't fit your life. You know what I'm saying, or your situation. And these lists that people hand you and say this is what this is supposed to be, this is what it's supposed to look like. A lot of time it don't even be men handing you the list. It could be another sister in your life or something like that saying this is what a real man is and stuff like that. And it's just unfortunate because she can't tell you what a man is because she probably don't have a man in her life either. You know what I'm saying? We are given ideals of what people think because that's what they want in their lives. People voice their expectations more than they voice what they truly really want. They just like we're just sounding boards for things that we don't even know it matter to us for real. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Because just like I didn't know having a peaceful house mattered to me until I was just like, I need my house to have peace. I got a house, it has to be peaceful. And part of me being a man in my house is to keep the peace. Somebody else might like a little chaos. I can't say, you know what I'm saying? Some people, just like I said, my manhood is mine. You know what I'm saying? What I got for the most part is rooted in what I believe that God placed for me to be. But the other things is just like, oh, this is specifically what I need in my life in order for me to have a loving marriage, a good career, good friends, and et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? I know I went along right there, but it is what it is.
That's the truth right there. From the comments, um, it was said he's not an imposter. He just hasn't been introduced to himself.
Mm,
And that's one of those deep things that when you basically look at the fact that there are many men who don't know who they are because most of their life they have been told who they're supposed to be and have taken it as the gospel truth because they trust the folks who are talking to them. And what they don't want to do is disrespect their elders. They don't want to disrespect their good friends. They don't want to disrespect their teachers. They don't want to disrespect their mentors. But they don't feel they don't feel what is being said to them. In fact, they would rather go to war against those things because they don't fit them. As somebody else said, all advice does not apply to you. And
yeah,
that show is a fact.
yeah.
Sometimes you got to tell somebody that's not me.
That ain't me.
And we talked about a little bit about that yesterday.
Yeah.
The beauty of this dyad is you and I come from two completely different
Yeah,
places.
you know what I'm saying? So like I tell people you have to take into like where people are talking from. You know what I'm saying? Because some people talk from a place of hurt.
Yeah.
Some people talk from a place of fear. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And a lot of times when people talk from those places, you may be going somewhere that they wish they can go. You know what I'm saying? But their fear, they're catching on you, so they be like, "Well, I don't want you to get hurt the way I got hurt, so don't do this." And like if God places it before you,
Yes.
you can't be afraid to go forth. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I say with men, we just don't have a lot of stand up guys. People, I feel like men now so sensationalized with just being millionaires and billionaires just because the Instagram don't told them, you know, this was true living is. But man, my uncle Gus worked for Plant Vogel down in South Georgia, lived a good life, good wife, good kids. You know what I'm saying? That's the life I want. I said, man, I just want to be able to come home, you know what I'm saying, eat my little dinner, spend my time, and just like for that was something that I was just like, that's what I'm going for. Everything else, like if millions, if I so happen to come upon millions, if God send me down that path, I'm a steward as best as I can. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But right now, I know bare minimum, being able to come home to a good home, being able to listen and talk to my wife. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy coming home. I ain't got to sit in no car contemplating, man, I gotta go now. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed to have that life. You know what I'm saying? But also too, I had a once I like really started going to church, God started putting men in my life that saw me trying
Right.
and wanted to just like, hey, young man, I see what you're doing. You're doing good. That's a good choice. But let me give you some nuance to this situation that you're trying to apply this work to. And that's like lady says, like mentors mean something. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like
Right.
we need more male mentors. You know what I'm saying? We need strong, loving, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to be patient, kind. You know what I'm saying? You don't come in boasting. Just like 1 Corinthians 13. You know what I'm saying? Just come with love. I feel like the best thing people could do in life, and the reason why I find it easy to talk to people because I'm coming to them just because I genuinely care. I just like care. I see you sad. I'm gonna talk to you, and just like that. You know what I'm saying? It's as simple as it sounds. It's hard for a lot of men to take their ego out and just really talk from a real place.
You know that ain't easy, but
I
we're
said
gonna
I
get
said
to
as easy as it sounds. I
yeah,
didn't say it was easy.
we're gonna get back to that in just a minute. This is a great question that's just pregnant for you, sir. Just pregnant.
Okay, what say
What
to
would
a
you say to a
19-year-old?
19-year-old boy who doesn't trust men?
I was that 19-year-old boy. You know what I'm saying? So I can give you a real account. Um,
Ooh,
you can't force it.
that's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? You can't force it. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, I like a cat. You know what I'm saying? You can't force a cat to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? You have to allow that cat to frequent that spot enough, that young man to frequent that spot enough in order to get comfortable. But the thing of it is, you got to put around some people that are willing to just keep extending kindness, because that's what it take. It take an extension of kindness. Don't put them around fake people, because that's gonna make them trust even less. Because it's just like, all right, what
Mhm.
you faking for? You don't even know me. Why are you trying to? You don't have to be there. It was okay. Like I said, don't put nobody around them that is in their own identity
What do
crisis.
you want from me?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because that, like I tell people, I just start with a "What's up? How you living?" You know what I'm saying? You can say something to that. If you chat me up, you give me a little something, a little bit more to talk to, I talk to that. But once I see, all right, that's enough. That person, his sensation meter is high. He's like, all right, that was enough. It's time to. You have to know how to read people when you
That's right.
encounter young boys, because a lot of times there's a reason why. There's a reason why. It's either the lack of having men around that could be trusted. It can be simply because what we watch and what we see tell us not to trust. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And
Right.
it can also be how men interact with their mothers to teach them not to trust. You know what I'm saying? So I would say number two, watch how you let men interact around you and your young boys. Because if they see they can't be trusted, that's gonna go outside. They gonna take that with them, because it's just like, well, I see that he can't even treat my mama right. So I'm gonna go out there. Um, none of them keep
Hey,
their word. Mm, that's
it's
crazy word.
interesting because today is Tuesday, right? Today
Yeah,
is
day
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Whew. This feel like this week had like 14 days in it. But
Yeah.
yesterday, during my Mason Mondays broadcast, I had a one of my brothers out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Derek
Hmm.
Sire, and he is a mentor guy.
Right.
And one thing that he said is that the mentors have to show up.
Yeah.
They have to be present.
Yeah.
And to this comment that was made about keeping their word, when I tell you that that is one of the most important things, because if you say that you're going to show up every Tuesday, but
Gotta
I saw
show up.
you one Tuesday and ain't seen you again, it doesn't matter if you came back, the reality is you already ruined it. And that
Mm-hmm.
goes to the accountability piece of the shift.
Yeah.
As men, we've got to take accountability, and we have to believe in our hearts, specifically teens, preteens, and those in elementary are watching us.
Yeah.
They know exactly what you're saying. They
Yep.
know exactly how you're saying it.
Yep.
And if you're not keeping it real with yourself, they'll be like,
I,
oh,
I tell people, young people could smell you capping from a long time,
yep,
long far away. Because it's just like a lot of times, like what I say to people, like I tell you, now I'm not the best communicator, but if I say I'm showing up, I'm gonna be there. You know what
yes,
I'm
you are.
saying?
Yeah,
I
yes, you
tell
are.
people all the time, you might not get 30 texts from me, but the day I say I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be
You there?
there. You know what I'm
As I said,
saying? Like I said, I'm not the hey, I ain't finna send you 500 messages, but when I say I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be there. You know what I mean? And I think that's important. I think that's where we, like you said, that's where we fail a lot of young people because we forget that the thing is they need you to continually show up because in order to build that bridge to that trust, constant showing up. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you can't just buy in one time and say, all right, everybody, I shot basketball with y'all, talked a little bit, gave y'all a little something, might even fed you, and I don't see you for 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing, it is the first thing, like I say, your first impression is your first impression got to be your best impression, but your
mhm.
follow through got to be also just as good. You know what I'm saying? You gotta follow through. Young people need follow through. I needed follow through. You know what I'm saying? As a young man, I needed follow through. Like,
But there are so many, Darius, that don't believe that that's follow through. They were lied to, so they believe that that's just part of normal life. And and we've talked about this in so many ways. And I tell folks all the time, May is Mental Health Awareness Month,
right,
and in many cases, specifically with Black and Brown people, we have made trauma normal. We
yeah,
have
yeah,
made
yeah, yeah,
failure
yeah, yeah.
normal.
Yeah, we make struggling normal.
That's what we live with. And
Man.
when it's not present, we don't know what to do with it. We
Right,
literally are going to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory because we don't know how to have victory.
bro. I say that all the time. I just learned how to enjoy my success. Like I am not kidding. Like I bought a house and it just really sunk in this year. In almost 2 years. I bought a house. You know what I'm saying? I got a I got a house because you fear losing things, and I feel like that's the reason why it's important to show up. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to give nobody no more fears in his life. You know what I'm saying? We adults, we do enough harm, you know what I'm saying, with our words, but if we're doing
Mm,
them with our actions, it doubles down. You know what I'm saying? Just like for me, you know what I'm saying? Like I tell people my availability through the week is pretty late. Now, if you want to call me, by all means call me. I pick up the phone anytime somebody call. You know what
right,
I'm saying?
right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I can't touch the phone, but I can hit my little headset and I can like, hey, go. You know what I'm saying? My nights, I'm free up until 10:30. I go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm lights out. The weekend, pretty free. You know what I'm saying? Outside of church on Sunday, little things I might have going on Saturday, I'm pretty free. And that's why I tell people I try my best to make availability. You know what I'm saying? People say, hey, you need to show up. You need to talk what's such and such. Hang out with such and such. Oh, okay, got you. Put it in the books. Plan. I ain't finna like I said, I ain't finna text you 500 times in a week. If I said I said it. Those who know me know if I said it, I'm gonna be there.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, you know what
That's
I'm
what they
saying? Like
do.
a lot of things are just like I feel like as men, we just have to take into account that our presence really do mean something, whether we believe it or not.
And believe it or not, as some of the comments are saying, um, we've got to bridge that gap.
Yeah.
And once we actually show folks that you care, that's what means the most to them. Because you know
Right.
what? They're so used to folks lying to them. So used to folks disappointing them. They're so used to folks literally just acting as if this doesn't matter to them. The question becomes, am I a priority to you? And if I'm not a priority to you, why am I not a priority to you? And that's the question that
I
folks don't
feel
want to answer.
I feel like Armani answered that. So many men are inconsistent with themselves, so they can't be consistent with others.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times it's like most of the time when we don't matter ourselves, we can't matter to nobody else. So if we consistent with failing ourselves, of course we're gonna be consistent with failing everybody else. Because like I said earlier, if you can't stand on your word with yourself, if you are fully capable of lying to yourself all the time, you're gonna lie to other people. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to learn how to reconfigure that part of your brain. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, no, you got to love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like we always talk about, like, hey man, we got to take care of ourselves. If we ain't taking care of ourselves, it's gonna be impossible for us to take care of other men, other young men, anybody
That's
that
the
we
truth.
encounter on this earth. Because the thing of it is, eventually when we fail ourselves, we put ourselves in that darkness. We allow the enemy to creep in and say all the things he like to say to us to keep us conveniently condemned. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have that extension of heart no more. Now we got to fight back just to get ourselves back to status quo, to even be sort of available. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
I feel like once we build a community, once we start building community, just make sure we have these points of where we checking in. You know what I'm saying? Because I think everything needs a check in. It's just like because it's real easy for things to fall through the crack with men. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because we could sometimes we I know some men that good to show up, but you could tell they ain't there. You know what I'm saying? You could just look at me like, wow, that boy half in, half out.
The lights are on, but nobody's home.
You know what I'm saying? And for my young men out there, man, don't be afraid to speak up. And when you get in these rooms with mentors, don't let them just talk to you. Ask questions. You know what I'm saying? See what they really standing on because you'll get an answer. Sometimes your question may be the right uncomfortable thing that need to be asked in order to prompt some change inside of these spaces that say, "Hey, we here for y'all, but you got to make sure they showing up for y'all too." And the only way that you get people to show up for you is voice your expectations. Don't young men do not have these silent expectations. You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody show up for you a way and this is the way you like to, be showing up for, somebody might be like, hey, I'm gonna just call you. But if you liked that face to face and that made you feel like you were seen, heard, and whole, make sure you let them know, like, hey, that's cool. But when you get a chance, would you please mind just sitting with me somewhere? It ain't got to be nothing extravagant. Because I tell people all the time, you throw a little Caesar pizza in front of a young man, he gonna eat it. I don't care where you at. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying he gonna eat it. It don't even got to be fancy. Like I tell people, it never had to be fancy. It just had to be. It had to be honest and earnest.
That's right. That's right. I'm loving the comments. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Let me shift. Let me shift.
Sure.
Going back to the Scud missile that I started.
Oh man,
Started from the start. You
thought I
thought you would
talked.
get away
I
with
thought
it?
I talked past it.
Oh, come on now. You know better.
Thought I talked past it.
What do we have to do to have the church live by the same standards that we're talking about? Being present, being engaged, being about the Father's business, cultivating purpose. allowing those younger than themselves to have an earnest voice that matters, and actually stopping long enough to listen. Because if not, and this is where I started from, we're not promoting the kingdom, we're promoting religion.
Mm.
And if we're chasing religion, no wonder folk are getting hurt. Because that's not what Jesus was about. He never came on this earth to start a religion.
Nah,
That's
he
not what
never
he
did.
came here for.
Nah.
And I don't know how that got spun so badly. But that's the truth right there.
That's why I say, man, I wish he had left a little pamphlet behind just to to keep people in line after he left. Just like I was just like, because when you got you, we let
This is the
yeah,
pamphlet.
yeah, that too. But I needed him to write some scribbles on his own.
Oh Lord.
But now that still won't go no way because I feel like a lot of times we let our own egos and selfish ambitions get in our way that keep us from doing and living like Jesus. Because just like I tell people all the time, I truly and I honestly this year just I try my best to live by 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8. Because it's just like, bro, we gotta learn what love is and what love ain't. Cause that's what Jesus came in. He came
That's
as
it.
love. You know what I'm saying? He went down here trying to make people do nothing. He gave people his word, told them what the kingdom was, what it wasn't, fed a few thousand folks. You know what I'm saying? Walked with 12. You know what I'm saying? We gotta learn as men that like, yo, you can't you can't say you got the Holy Spirit, but you always willing to step in front of it and intervene on God's behalf. God already got it.
Ooh,
You know what I'm
that's
saying? It's
good,
like
sir.
a
That's
lot of
good,
times,
sir.
people just like I remember this one of my mentors, his mama said, sometimes God, we be like, but God wants you to get your butt out the way. You know what I'm saying? And let him work, let him cook. Utilize the Holy Spirit and the love. Don't worry so much about trying to impose your thought process on somebody. If you lead
Right,
in love,
right.
your thought process fall to the wayside, and you truly, earnestly tap into the hearts of men. If we ain't willing to live on that level, if we want to boast what our achievements in, we want to stand up and say, well, God did this, God did that, God is like most of the things God really worked on and do for his people is in silence. It ain't nothing really can be seen because I like it sometimes when the miracles happen, you can't explain it.
That's
Can't
right.
explain it. You don't know how it came together. You ain't do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with your heart and your mouth. Watch your mouth. If you speaking out of a place of self, please learn how to just like take them little pauses. And sometimes you might be like, you know what? Let me backpedal a little bit and let me give you what Jesus said about you. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you what the Psalms say about you, how you protect it, how you love, how you are apple
Right.
of his eye, how you are a royal priesthood. How it's just like it's so many things that you can speak in love towards young men and men. You don't really have to speak your own thoughts a lot of times.
That's right.
It ain't nothing wrong with that at all. But if it's not out of love and it's out of force, you out of order.
That's right. That's right. As we're gonna shift down and downshift to the end of this session, I've got to ask you this question, Darius, because it's just
Let it rip.
if you were going to have the podium and you have the podium often, and thank you so much, Armani. I appreciate that more than you know. But if you had the podium, and again, you have the podium often, and you had one message to give to a group of men, and they have given you their word, that if what you're saying makes sense, they're gonna go for it. What would you say?
Mm, mm. I probably ask a question first. I probably like, do you love yourself? You know what I'm
You got
saying?
to give me more than that. Come on.
I will. I will. I will. I'm gonna bring it out. Do you love yourself? Because if you do love yourself, you know what I'm saying. This is all gonna be a labor of love. You know what I'm saying. As we go forth and we go out and impact these communities as a community, you're gonna have to love yourself first. Because as hard as God can love you, if He loving into an empty vessel or a vessel that got a hole in it, a lot of times this stuff gonna be in vain. It's gonna hurt you. It can be growth. It's gonna be good labor. But a lot of times I say, man, as you walk this walk that God put us on this earth to walk, remember how Jesus did it. And I always say this, and it's my favorite thing to say, and I ain't gonna never stop saying it. He accepted this world as it was, not as he wanted it to be, because he knew where he was going, and it was not here. This was not his final place. Let's try to get these men, women, and babies to the places where Jesus was going and aiming to go. And the best way we can do this is through love, open heart, open mind, a lot of time closed mouths. But when you show up continuously, as Jesus did, God's love will never stop. It'll never cease. And this path is exactly what God wanted us to do. Point people heavenward, not towards us, but to him. That'll about for you all I got to say.
Woo! And there ain't nothing else to say after that. Darius J. The thing that I love best is we got 3 more days. we got 3 more days. I don't know that this audience can take 3 more days of this because this is so good. This is so ridiculously good and rich. Um, wow. That's all I can say is wow, wow, wow. You did that thing, and I appreciate you greatly for being here yet again.
No problem.
Um, ooh, and yeah, I'm gonna shut that down right there, right there. There's Jay, the men's department, 1/3 of.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Yeah. You know what I'm
thank
saying? Oh
you.
man, not pulpit. I'm more of a curbside preacher.
No, sir, you can't run from that. You know that. But that's a whole nother that's another subject for another day. Tomorrow we are going to talk about the fundamental question that plagues folks as it relates to character. Why choose God?
Oh man.
Why choose God?
Yeah, that's right. The pulpit do follow me there, Armand, for real.
Well. My cousin finally shows up. Hey,
Oh man.
cousin, thank you.
What up, sis? But yeah.
Woo. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. But thank you again. We will see you mañana.
Yeah. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yes, sir. 9ish. Y'all need to be here. Spread the word because we're gonna
Yeah.
get this thing in. We're gonna
Share it with
get
your
it
people
in.
for the love of God to come into your house, into your heart, so you can go out and
That's
share
it.
that goodness with somebody else.
That's it. Don't just closet it to
Don't
yourself.
closet it.
Don't closet
Don't
it.
cover up that light on the stand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go share it with
Let it
somebody.
shine. Share it with
Share it with
somebody.
somebody.
It ain't got to be everybody, just somebody.
I know that's right. Till tomorrow, sir.
Yo, peace.
Woo! When I tell you that is something else, that is something else. Ooh. So if you want to join the shift movement, go on out to purposerefinedbyfire.com. Go all the way to the bottom, click that join button. You're going to receive an email. All the information that you need is already out there. We've got some things cooking that you're going to love on the back end. You will love the stuff that's coming out. I've been asked this question more times than I should, so I'm going to go ahead and dispel this myth. Is this just for men? This is for men and the women who love them. Don't care if that's your daddy, your uncle, your cousin, your brother, Mr. Charlie down the road, the brothers down in front of 7-Eleven, Quick Trip, the corner store, the bodega. It doesn't matter where they happen to be. They can benefit from this. And as it has been since Bible times, the women were the best carriers of the good news. The best carriers of the good news. So until tomorrow, I am John Mason, better known as Dr. M, the Purpose Disruptor. Thank you for making this easy. Thank you for making this so easy. And I can't wait till tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be even better than today. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you then.
We all want to be happy, but the majority of us have no idea what to do. See, the Japanese have a concept called ikigai, which roughly translates into a reason for being. You need to have a purpose for being here. But this is easier said than done, because there are 4 components that you need to check off in order to achieve ikigai. Now, the interesting thing about this Japanese formula is that you can tell where you are in life and what you need to work on by looking at the components you have so far. If all you have is something that you love and are good at, then you have what's called a passion. On the other hand, if you have something that you love and you can see how the world needs it, then you have what's called a mission. Now, if you're someone who has something you get paid well for and are good at, then you have what most people in the world have, which is a profession. And finally, if you get paid well and it's something that you know can help the world, then you have what's called a vocation. You need to be spending your time doing something that you love, that you can get better at, that pays well, and that the world needs. Without all 4, you will always feel like you're missing something inside of you.
Follow us for more helpful tips.